Bro, you did not see it was false, bro. No one talks like me, Vida Loca. Orale, Holmes, if you talk like that, you're lame. You're stupid. Orale, no, bro, we don't. Sabes, no, nobody talks like that.
Pocho, you're lame, dog. Quit saying my name, dog. You thirsty getting clout. You get no views on your podcast anyways, dog. Stop capping, my boy. Yeah, you reached out. You talk good about me. I never did an interview with you, my boy. You wanted to go on live. I never did, because why? I know what it is. You're making a narrative that's never going to happen. Dog, there's too much bloodshed, too much bullshit going on. Prison is prison. The streets is the streets.
Hey, what it do, what it is, what it was. This is your boy Pocho, the Chicano podcast. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications and support a real one in the field. What are we talking about today? Baby jokes. Richard Cabral, bro. Come on, bro. The dude, the actor, the rapper turned actor, dog. You know what I mean? The homeboy industry superstar. I met this vato at Homeboy Industries and in the Sweat. Actually, I met Richard Cabral first. I didn't even know it was him in the Sweat Lodge. Imagine me surrounded by a bunch of Southsiders in a Sweat Lodge in Happy Valley. Only real vatos know where Happy Valley is in Los Angeles. I'm not going to say the actual more popular little neighborhood that's next to Happy Valley. And if you know, let me know. If you know the high school that's in Happy Valley, let me know in the comments. That's when you know you a real, I'll say East Sider. But anyway, Richard Cabral, bro, baby jokes, one of the most inspiring Southsiders I ever met at Homeboy Industries by far. I don't even want to call him a Southsider, Sureno, all that, because he is so much bigger than that. When I left LA, bro, I was working on a documentary about his life and his cousin. And his cousin, you know, was in a rehab at the time, working through Homeboy Industries. And his cousin got into the gang because of Richard Cabral. And there's like documentaries that talk about this, and they've actually even had podcasts about it. Richard Cabral be podcasting, he'd be rapping too, yelling, rah, being crazy. I kind of like it. But when I left LA, him and a homeboy named Jose from Duarte, I'm not going to say his gangster name, but he, the San Gabriel, nah, I won't say it. But those were the two people that I really was hurt when I left, you know what I mean? And like when I got little what they call like what is it, like half canceled? I get canceled like every 3 months for being a wild dude, bro. I don't care, bro. You guys try to call me a predator when I'm really a player, dog. And now I'm just chilling, but stop it, dog. You know what I mean? That shit is so funny, dog. You make the fucked up part about that, dog, is when you do that, then the real bad people get away, bro, and you're focused on the people that are just out here being a player, smashing off females. It is what it is, dog. You know what I mean? I lived a wild lifestyle, and I'm now just calming down. But anyway, we're not perfect, bro. When you point the finger, 3 fingers are pointing at me, so I don't want to hear nothing unless you're perfect, all right? Anyway, getting off topic. Leaving Richard, bro. Even Richard was like, bro, you gotta leave the females alone and calm down and focus. He's like, I'm institutionalized, bro. I don't even care. I just like having one female, and that's it. Even having one female is too much for me, you know? But God bless him. He lost his house in the fires out there. And, you know what I mean? But he looks like he's doing good. But he's in the media recently. It didn't make too much noise, but I just thought it was a good topic because I knew the vato. I don't know him anymore. And he kind of walked away from me. Whenever you get canceled, you become like a leper, you know? So him, Jose, they all walked away from me. But Jose's doing good. He's like the vice president or some shit of Homeboy Industries. I love that place, but it's like a fucking cult, dog. I can't be part of something that you can't. Like anything you do, you know, you get like, you know what I mean? It's like the mafia. You get like whacked out if you're not perfect. But hey, I'm happy that they still help a lot of people. But let's get into content before I yap too long. And, I'm gonna actually, you know what? Roll the clip, and then we'll talk about it after. Roll the clip.
Bro, you did not see it was false, bro. No one talks like me, Vida Loca. Orale, Holmes, if you talk like that, you're lame. You're stupid. Orale, no, bro, we don't. Sabes, no, nobody talks like that. East LA, baby. Boyle Heights. My family's from B&E. I'm from the Orale. We don't talk like, Orale. No one cares about the Pino. I promise you. Nobody cares about the Pino. We don't, if the Pino don't mean shit in East LA to us. Nobody's like, hey, let's have a family picnic at the Pino.
You're destroying all my...
I swear to God, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry to tell you the fucking truth. From the land, bro. This ain't, and East LA... Is East LA for you guys? It's not Silver Lake and it's not Echo Park. You gotta hit Boyle Heights on this side. Welcome to the east side.
Y'all remember earlier this year when Richard was doing an interview and he was talking about how no one talks like mi vida loca? Back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of people used to talk that slang. A lot of cholos and cholas, vatos, jainas, you name it. Everybody was talking that type of slang. And I know what he's talking about in the movie Mi Vida Loca because it sounds a lot like, fabricated because obviously they're just actors. I'm pretty sure they don't really talk in that sense of slang. But they did though, Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of veteranos out there that still use that slang. Maybe nowadays generation doesn't use that type of slang, but you know what? It was a way of life, and that's how a lot of fucking gente used to talk back in the day. But on his interview, like literally legit, okay, I had to crack up. Okay, let's go ahead and watch this.
Bro, you did not see it was false, bro. No one talks like mi vida loca. Orale, Holmes, if you talk like that, you're lame. Stupid. Orale, no, bro, we don't. Sabes, no, nobody talks like that.
I don't know, y'all. Go ahead and drop your thoughts down below. Vatos, jainas, you name it. Everybody was talking that type of slang. And I know what he's talking about in the movie Mi Vida Loca because it sounds a lot like, fabricated because obviously they're just actors. I'm pretty sure they don't really talk in that.
I already know what's going on. She's basically trying to say that Richard is saying that, that Chicano Southsiders don't talk like, hey, orale and all that. He was saying, and he's always said that he brought more realness in life to the gangster role because it was always the orale and real cheesy and fabricated, like he says in Mi Vida Loca. But so I think they just got a clip, bro, and they didn't actually see the real thing. But we'll see. We'll keep going with it.
Sense of slang, but they did though, Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of veteranos out there that still use that slang. Maybe nowadays generation doesn't use that type of slang, but you know what? It was a way of life, and that's how a lot of fucking gente used to talk.
A lot of people still talk that way, you know what I mean? I say vato, a lot of in Northern California, fools don't say vato, but I got that from Southern California.
In the day. But on his interview, like literally legit, okay, I had to crack up. Okay, let's go ahead and watch this.
Bro, you did not see it was false, bro. No one talks like mi vida loca. Orale, Holmes, if you talk like that, you're lame. Stupid. Orale, no, bro, we don't. Sabes, no, nobody talks like that.
I don't know, y'all. Go ahead and drop us down below.
That's a little TikToker, but hey, bro, goddamn, Richard, I didn't even know it was that my bad. Bro, you calling people dumb for talking that way? Hold on, let's listen to that part again.
Loca.
Watch this.
Bro, you did not see.
That's what I've always liked Richard, bro. Vato is explosive.
It's false, bro. No one talks like mi vida loca. Orale, Holmes, if you talk like that, you're lame. Stupid. Orale, no, bro, we don't. Sabes, no, nobody talks like that.
I don't know, y'all. Go ahead and drop.
He's saying that people are stupid for talking that way. Whoa, I don't know about all that, my boy. That's a little crazy, but I thought you always had this argument that the roles were like hella like cheesy for the gangsters and you wanted to spring like a real role. And I think he got popular for digging his own grave in some CSI movie. I'm not even going to try to post it because they'll try to copyright me. But, bro, Richard Cabral's out here talking ish. So, any of you Southsiders, Chicanos from down south, if you're saying Orale and Holmes and things like that, Vato and Vata and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Simon que sí, or what else? What are some other words? He's saying that people don't talk like that, bro, and I think people do talk like that. I would have to respectfully disagree with you, my boy, because I think that's part of like the foundation of Chicano culture. It's called oh my God, I always forget it. The name, the Pachuco name. I'm looking it up right now because Pachuco slang term. Caló. That's the Chicano slang. Caló is Pachuco slang known as Caló, a unique 1940s Mexican-American hybrid language blending Spanish, English, and old borderland dialect. So, orale, all that stuff comes from that, bro. And Chicanos have been using that word for a while. Roll the clip of the other TikToker and see what he has to say.
Richard Cabral, a very well-known Latino actor, plays a lot of the Cholo roles. He recently came out on a podcast stating that nobody talks like they do in the movies. Nobody says orale, cubole, homie, Simón loco. As a matter of fact,
he stated, and don't quote me word by word on it, but it was pretty clear that he thinks it's ridiculous that nobody really talks that way. Nadie. He actually made fun of the fact that who the fuck talks that way? That they do in the movies, but in real life, nadie and nobody speaks that way. Basically mocked it. Honestly, Richard Cabral, with all due respect, you're a very great actor and I give you that. But what part of East LA were you raised at, homie? Neta, I would like to know. Cause I'm from the Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights area. And I grew up in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Where all the cats, all the old school cats, all the veteranos till this day speak like that. It's in our blood. It's in our culture. Or am I mistaken? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what Richard is really speaking on. Porque I grew up with the homies and the tios and the tias and, you know what I'm saying? People speaking that way. You know, because it was part of the culture, just like the lowriders, part of our culture. The murals painted on the walls, part of our culture. The mariachi, the folclorico, the cookouts, the carne asadas. So I'm just confused, so to speak. ¿En qué está hablando este compa? What part of East LA was he raised in? Now I'm starting to really second guess. Was he really born in East LA or?
All right, now let's just run it together real quick.
A very well known Richard Cabral, a very well known Latino actor, plays a lot of the Cholo roles.
He does play a lot of the Cholo roles. This, you know what, dog? Just since we're right here, I think he's big enough to ask ChatGPT. Hey, what up, my boy?
Hey, what's good?
Hey, can you give me a quick synopsis of Richard Cabral baby jokes from his acting to his rapping, or his rapping to his acting, and his work at Homeboy Industries and his latest house burned down, everything you got on him?
Hold on, let me line it up. Right, so Richard Cabral, also known as Baby Jokes, grew up in East LA, had a tough run with gang life and addiction, was in and out of prison as a teen. After getting out, Homeboy Industries gave him a lifeline and he credits them with turning his life around. He got into acting around 2009, later got an Emmy nod for American Crime and became widely known on Mayans MC.
Mayans and American Crime.
And he's also a motivational speaker and writer. More recently, his family lost their home in the Eaton fire, and he turned that experience into a short film called Fuego as part of processing that loss. It's a pretty powerful full circle story from addiction and prison to Emmy nods and using his voice to help others. Quite impressive, really.
Did you know I was working on a documentary with him when he got that Emmy nod?
Hang on, let me check. No, I didn't know that. That's quite something.
Yeah, we both worked at Homeboy, I worked at Homeboy Industries when he was coming around helping out at Homeboy.
Well, that puts you right there, a really pivotal moment in his life. That Emmy nod basically cracked open Hollywood for him. So, what happened with the doc? Did it get shelved, or did you film a fair bit before everything shifted?
No, I got kind of canceled and he stopped talking to me.
Ah, that's rough. Sounds like it just cut off. Not from anything creative, but the moment. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it was really hard because we were really close, but I just didn't want him to get caught up in all my drama, you know?
That makes sense. Sounds like you were thinking more about protecting him than yourself.
Yeah, he was on the rise. You know, I didn't want to mess that up for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's surprisingly selfless, putting his momentum first.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what they were saying about me wasn't true, but at the same time, you know how this world is in social media. You just have to go run with it, kind of live with it.
Yeah, once that tide turns, it's really hard to stop it. And stepping back to let someone else keep moving, that's a tough choice. You still think about picking that project back up?
No, our relationship is over. But thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
See ya. And thanks for...
Yeah. All right, let's go through this. Now you know a little bit about Richard Cabral. Let's go back to the TikToker, though.
Richard Cabral, a very well-known Latino actor, plays a lot of the Cholo roles.
Yeah.
He recently came out on a podcast stating that nobody talks like they do in the movies. Nobody says Orale, Cubole.
I don't say Cubole. I could never say that one right, but I do say Orale sometimes. I mostly just say Vato. That's probably the only one that I use.
Homie.
I use homie.
Simón, loco.
Simón.
As a matter of fact, he stated, and don't quote me word by word on it, but it was pretty clear that he thinks it's ridiculous that nobody really talks that way. Nadie. He actually made fun of the fact that who the fuck talks that way?
A lot of people, fool.
That they do in the movies.
They talk that way, that's why they make movies about them. Even if it's not the right way, it's true.
But in real life, nobody speaks that way. Basically mocked it. Honestly, Richard Cabral, with all due respect, you're a very great actor, and I give you that.
You are a great actor, my boy. Probably the most talented Chicano I ever met. Maybe, probably. I mean, up there, though, dog. And just real ass dude, bro. Really from the streets, too. I've been right there, and I used to take pictures at one of his movies. I got credited in the movie, too. I think they put Pancho, though, not Pocho. But I got to see him behind the scenes, bro. And he's a real one in the field.
But what part of East LA were you raised at, homie? Neta, I would like to know.
East LA 13, dog. If you don't know where that is, you don't know where you know what I mean? It's right next to East LA. It's considered East LA. You guys let me know in the comments where Richard Cabral is from. I don't want to say it.
Because I'm from the Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights area.
Shout out to Lincoln Heights and Boyle Heights. That's where Appa Valley is in Lincoln Heights. But if you watch this far, you'll know. But first in Utah, baby boy, that's where your boy lived, Boyle Heights, by Self-Help Graphics.
And I grew up in the 90s.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Where all the cats, all the old school cats, all the veteranos till this day speak like that.
That's true. Even in Northern California, they spoke like that. Not as crazy as these fools do, but they did.
It's in our blood. It's in our culture. Or am I mistaken? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what Richard is really speaking on. Porque I grew up with the homies and the tios and the tias and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People speaking that way.
My uncle speaks like that, straight up, like all that, like super. He has a bigote, all that. He got that OG one, you feel me? He speaks all orale all day long.
Because it was part of the culture, just like the lowriders, part of our culture. The murals painted on the walls, part of our culture. The mariachi, the folclorico.
Yep. Facts.
The cookouts, the carne asadas.
Facts.
So I'm just confused, so to speak.
Is this guy's name DJ Pocho? Go check him out on Instagram at DJ PH8. P8, like the number 8, ocho. Or it could be Pocho, I don't think so.
¿En qué está hablando este compa? What part of East LA was he raised?
So he's from a little neighborhood or town, I guess, a town right next to East LA, but even the gang's name East LA 13, but it's in a town right next to supposed East LA. And let me know if you guys considered Boyle Heights East LA, if you considered Lincoln Heights East LA, Highland Park East LA. You probably just call it Northeast LA, but for Highland Park. Shout out to the 50s.
Now I'm starting to really second guess, was he really born in East LA or?
Yeah, he definitely was born in, I think he was even born at the White Memorial, but maybe not. Anyway, go let me know in the comments, you guys, what you guys know about Richard Cabral. I still miss the Vato. He's a great dude. Hey, man, when they were hating on me, I was just like, hey, Richard, I called him up and I was like, hey, bro, it's over, dog. You know what I mean? He was like trying to figure it out. Oh, it'll be okay on one side. You can help me on this side. I was like, nah, dog, it's done. I'm going back up north. I don't want to fuck up your career. I was a crazy party dude, and I guess it's coming back to bite me in my butt. But the party life, not anything else, though, man. It's so crazy how people can just stretch the truth just because they don't like you. Or they're trying to get you out the paint. But I won't let it happen. And Richard, don't let these haters trip on you, dog. They are making good points. I think you are wrong. I think a lot of people still talk that way. Maybe you just need to clarify what you mean. Maybe you just meant that in the acting, in Hollywood, that they make it look cheesy, but not in real life. Because clips be clipping, and fools begin taken out of context. So let me know in the comments below if you guys like Richard Cabral. Did you follow him as Baby Jokes? He was so sick in the show American Crime back on when TV was really popping still. And he was in the Mayans, you know what I mean? His house burned down, and he made I didn't even know he did that. Fuego, go check it out, man. Anyway, salute to him, his family. I hope he's doing well. It's too bad that we're not friends no more, but hey, I hope the best for him. And I think he might have been taken out of context, or he's just wrong. I think that a lot of people still use those terms, and they're not cheesy, you know. Anyway, this is your boy Pocho, the Chicano Podcast. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let me know what I can do better. Comment below. I'm almost at 10K. I'd appreciate a follow, subscribe. It's right there. Show love, bro. And if you like this, you got this far, go check out what Tommy's tripping. Got drunk on the internet again. This is your boy Pocho 1, and I'm out.